Today we're covering 8th grade, Chapter 9, Lesson 5, Analyze Data Distribution. The distribution of a set of data shows the arrangement of data values. And this can be described as the center, by its spread, and overall shape. For example, there's two charts here, two data tables, and the shape of it, if we folded it over, it would be exactly on top of each other, the left one. So that means it is symmetric. However, the one on the right is not symmetric, it is non-symmetric. Looking at this graph here on the right about books read during the summer, it says the graph shows the number of books students read during the summer. Identify any symmetry, clusters, gaps, peaks, or outliers in the distribution. So first of all, the distribution is definitely not symmetric. So non-symmetric, because the left side does not look like the right side. There is a cluster from 6 to 8. And there is a peak, that would be the highest point, at 8. And there are two gaps. One gap is between 8 and 11. There's no X's, so that's between 8 and 11. And there's another bigger gap between 14 and 19. And there is an outlier. Outlier means, out. Doesn't look like the rest. It's far away from everybody. And that would be at 19. And then here's the important part of our lesson. Symmetry. If it's symmetric, then the mean and the mean absolute deviation are the appropriate measures to use to describe the data. Remember, we talked about misleading and appropriate ways to describe the data, like whether or not the mean or the mode or the range would be a good description for the data. Well, if the shape of the data is symmetric, then the mean and the mean absolute deviation would be the appropriate thing to use. However, if it's non-symmetric, the median and the interquartile range are appropriate measures to use to describe the data. So this is the part you'll need for your homework. If it's symmetric, you need to use the mean and mean absolute deviation to describe it. And if it's non-symmetric, you need the median and interquartile range to describe it. On the independent practice, you're going to be asked to identify any clusters. That would be, where is the majority of the data concentrated? And you're going to be asked to identify any peaks. So where's the highest point? That should be easy to see. And then you're going to be asked to describe the center and spread of distribution. So is it symmetric? Is it not symmetric? And again, that's what you're going to do on each type of data. Are there any clusters? Where's the high point? And where's the peak? And is it symmetric or not symmetric?